A few weeks ago on this channel, we said that the ANC now sees white people as human beings worthy of helping solve the problems of this country. But it looks like when asked, the white people said, here are our conditions, you haven't met them, so too bad.
So this is the news that Afriforum and Solidarity is a trade union were asked by the government to assist with service delivery because they've got a lot of skilled individuals on the books and service delivery isn't going very well in the country. Afriforum very rightly says, we will do that, but how about in exchange you don't try and make Afrikaans-speaking individuals extinct? They said, how would you do that? And they said, well, how about we start with the BELA Bill? The BELA Bill proposes to take all of the decisions around the primary language that the school is teaching in away from the school and give it to government hands. And according to Afriforum, if they do that, they know exactly which way it will go. And that is, the school will be turned from a bilingual school, quite often where Afrikaans and English is taught, and they'll say, no, you should just speak in English because everybody else speaks that. Which would thereby make the Afrikaans language so minute and unimportant that it would go extinct. And Afriforum says that our condition is, we'll help you, don't put our best interests away, don't make life difficult for us. It's all we ask. And in response, the ANC government said, nah.
Indeed, nah is the correct way to say it. The BELA Bill, which is the Basic Education sort of amendment bill, goes even further than that. It basically expropriates school choice. It expropriates governing bodies' abilities to make decisions for that school, including language policies, including how many people can be in that school. It's an expropriation of this public school system as we know it. And of course, what they want to do is ensure that there is this moderate English style of education that dumbs down everything and to do away with the diversity in our country. Those who do schools, no Xhosa schools, no Afrikaans schools, only English because, that's true democracy in South Africa. But anyway, Byron, the problem is there's still, water issues in this country. Even the government has said that Afriforum and Solidarity seems to be the only people who can fix those water issues or can assist to fix those water issues. But they're not even willing to budge 1 inch to make Solidarity a deal that makes them fix the water issues. What's the play here by the ANC? Because I don't get it.
Yeah, I think the biggest play at heart here is actually fundamentally ideological. So, according to Afriforum, this entire process, the BELA Bill as a whole, is actually a violation of the 1994 settlement agreement, because the settlement agreement basically said that the Afrikaans community would still be allowed to operate and to function and to thrive in South Africa as just another one of the ethnic groups in South Africa. And according to Afriforum, the government's actually going against that. They're literally trying to make the Afrikaners extinct, in Afriforum's words. So what's actually at play here? I think actually it's very easy to understand. If school choice, much like your medical aid choice, remains in your hands, you get to decide basically what you want to do, right? You get to decide where your kids are going to go, the language they're going to get taught in, and the kind of curriculum they're going to get taught. Same as when you have your medical aid and your choice of hospital, right? You've got your medical aid, you can choose between Discovery or Bonitas or whatever else. You can choose which hospitals you want to go to and get treated there. You can also, as the individual who's working there, decide where you want to work. Do you want to work in private practice, a small little operation? Do you want to set your own up? It gives the individual's choice. And ideologically, choice is not what the ANC likes. Because remember, they want centralized control. They want to control everything. They want to say where your kids go to school. They want to say what your kids must learn. They want to say which hospitals you go to. No medical plans because they're going to pay for everything. It's all centralized control. You see, the problem is they do need the infrastructure fixed, but they don't want to give up their dreams of centralized control in order to fix the infrastructure.
Well, the infrastructure is, excuse my language, fucked up because of centralized control. The ANC nationalized water, in the early 2000s, I believe it was. They've done zero maintenance because we know African maintenance is like oil and water. It doesn't mix very well. It doesn't, really complement each other. So when centralized control leads to literally our people not having literal water, only the Afrikaners can fix that. The ANC would literally have people go thirsty and die of thirst rather than just say, okay, fine, school choice is important or whatever. Language policies in schools are not that important. We'd rather focus on giving water to our people that we love so much, as they keep telling us. But no, even that's like too far for the ANC. They refuse to even give an inch on anything even the most inane bullshit thing to just help this country. That's just remarkable. And they say we are selfish, like us whites are selfish or capitalists are selfish. This is a heart of selfishness. I'm selfish. I don't let people die of thirst. But when the ANC is selfish, that's exactly what happens.
Yes, but you see, Ramon, the biggest difficulty that we have here, especially when dealing with the ANC on this front, is that one of the things that Afriforum has highlighted is that public participation on the BELA Bill has largely been ignored by the ANC government. ANC doesn't care what you have to say. They don't care what I have to say. They've been told by a constitutional court that they do need to take into account what we have to say because they are effectively employed by us, taxpayer. According to the ANC, that's not how they see it. They see it as they, the governing party, you'll do what they say, god damn it, because they're in charge and you're just the boy. Shut up. And we've seen that again today, even in the passing of Ramaphosa. He's gone ahead and he's passed the Electoral Matters Amendment Bill, which was also a bill put forward by the Parliament to basically make it illegal to disclose undisclosed amounts to Parliament on terms of electoral funding. And all the electoral parties came out and said, this bill's really unconstitutional. But you see, it favours Ramaphosa. It favours him quite a lot because what he effectively does is starve people making political donations to his opposition parties. Because we all know that what the ANC will do is they'll just take a potential, alleged payout from someone like Iran for, reasons, and it doesn't really apply to them. But the ANC doesn't really care what they do. They care what you do. And that is fundamentally what the issue is here for Afriforum. They have a big issue with the ANC meddling in what they do, because all they're asking for is the Afrikaans community to be allowed to self-exist and to self-govern according to their own determination, which coincidentally is actually what the Constitution says. But the ANC are like, my God, we can't have that. We can't have that.
Yeah, so the ANC has to weigh up two things. Number one, let people die of thirst, our people die of thirst, i.e. black people die of thirst, or let Afrikaners live sort of peacefully as human beings in South Africa. I'd rather let people die of thirst, guys, because that's how much they hate whitey. Like, it is that obvious, isn't it? Like, they hate blacks because they would rather let them die of thirst, but they really hate whites because they just don't want to leave whites alone. It's always there to badger them, to remind them of the past, to milk them dry through taxes. And now they want to have their cake and eat it too. And Afriforum and Solidarity are saying, nope, you can't. So let our people die of thirst. We will take care of the Afrikaners on our own. If that means taking the Afrikaans language outside of the public sphere, they will bloody well do it. And they have done it to a large degree. But the ANC refuses to concede anything, even on things that don't really matter. Tells you all you need to know about the place, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the greatest irony is that obviously the ANC, their entire job should be that of nation building. Remember that South Africa is notoriously a multicultural society because it's historically where lots of different nations have come through for exploitation and colonialism and whatever other words you want to use. But at the end of the day, it's had a lot of nations come here and it's a melting pot of individuals. I mean, it wasn't really a unified country before it was unified by the British anyway. As we know, there were different tribes, and the tribes didn't really exactly get along. I know there's this idea of Wakanda forever, and they were all like happy clappies, and they all sang around in little circles, passing each other little pixie roses. But that's actually not how it was. So at the end of the day, South Africa as a unified nation was never really that unified. So if you actually want to unify your nation, you have to nation build. The way that you nation build is you basically allow individuals to live and thrive in your nation. But the ANC isn't interested in that. They want centralized control, and they want nation domination. They want to dominate the nation itself and to tell it exactly what you can and can't do. And very rightly, Afriforum has said, we're not okay with that. Like, our freedom is more important to us. Our culture is more important to us. You know what would be really nice? If the Anglos did the same, because they don't. And by and large, a lot of the African cultures also don't agree with this stuff. But to a large degree, they don't get involved in the same way that the Afrikaners do. Possibly because they have less leverage to play on this matter.
Or because they, not really as homogenous as some might think. So we've had white domination, we've had black domination. That is over. I think we're going to have balkanization very, very soon in this country, which is the main reason why we're here, let's be honest. I mean, if the ANC was actually effective, we would be another Venezuela. But they're not. They're retarded. So, it's worth our while staying here for this period of time.